Welcome back to another episode of Mommy Chronicles. Y'all, on today I got another strawberry letter. This one is just a little bit too much. This is gonna ruffle some feathers, especially when it comes to the mothers. I got some brunch here, some breakfast lunch here. I got, y'all already know how I do my vegan chicken. I got some fried potatoes, fried red potatoes with onions and peppers. And I got some eggs. I got some maple syrup right here and a good old bottle of water. I'm not going to prolong this because I'm ready to get into this food and get into this letter. So let me go ahead and say my grace so we can get this to cracking. Father, I thank you for this food I am about to receive for the nourishment of my body for Christ's sake. Amen. Now, let's eat and let's get into this letter. All right, let's get this breakfast cracking so we can get this letter cracking. Okay, so this is some 100% pure organic maple syrup. If y'all don't know about this, I'm going to need you to try it one day. Make you some fried potatoes and put you some syrup on it. Promise, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Okay. Y'all ready to eat? What y'all eating for breakfast brunch? If you haven't had a chance, make sure that you guys go and check out our latest video. We put up last night. We did the hot Cheetos chicken strips and Cool Ranch Doritos chicken strips. Plus, I made some delicious lobster mac and cheese, which I also did a video for that as well, which you guys should probably get that either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, we played a cool little game. Y'all know we haven't played any games in a while, so we did that. And yeah. So, without further ado, y'all ready to get into this letter? If you ain't sitting down, sit down, because this one getting ready to knock your socks off. All right. So, this letter is entitled, "My boyfriend wants me to leave my children so we can be together." All right. She crazy. The letter reads as thus. I have been dating this man for 7 years. Upon us entering in a relationship, he had several ladies he was dating. He asked me to move out of state, 8 hours away, so that we could start over. The night before our move, he was with his ex. We moved 8 hours away from my friends and my family along with my children. Within 3 months, he started to tell me that I hold my children, who are 13 and 8 years old, in high regards. He would be so angry when I helped them with simple things like homework or chores around the house. 5 months into the relationship, he pushed me down a flight of stairs, and I fractured all the bones in my ankle. I did not contact the police because he left me and moved back 8 hours to be with the lady he was with before our move. I then moved back for help with my kids because I could not walk, work, or tend to my children after he caused my injury. Upon moving back to my home state, somehow, we got back together. He has been constantly stating that I love my children more than I love him. He cannot be with me and my children. He tells me that he wants me with no strings attached. What am I to do with my kids, whom I love? Does he love me and want to be with me, or does he want to ruin my life? I'm not sure. Can you help? Girl. The first thing is, what you allow as the foundation of your relationship sets the tone for your relationship. The first things that happen in your relationship that you let ride that is what becomes the foundation of, or the breeding ground of your relationship. So the first thing that you did wrong, sis, was to enter into a relationship that was not committed to being committed. I mean, clearly, you just said, upon us entering into relationship, he had several ladies he was dating. That was the number one sign that he was not ready to be in a committed relationship. Then he asked for you to move 8 hours away from any support system. And the first sign of an abusive person is that they want to pull you, whether it's physically abusive or whether it's verbally abusive. They want to pull you away from anything that will be of a support to you. That's why he don't like your kids. But I ain't even finna get into that yet. So you pack up your stuff, even though you know he's unfaithful. He doesn't want you to be around any of your family members or your friends. And you create an unstable, uncomfortable environment for the two people that rely on you for stability and comfortability. But you do that because that was your selfish desire. It didn't matter if your kids was comfortable with the move. It didn't matter if your kid had, or if your kids had comfortability, because you can trust and believe. He ain't just start acting like that with your kids when y'all move. He ain't never liked your kids. And 9 times out of 10, he would come over to your house while y'all was living in the other state before y'all moved. He would come over to y'all house and really not have no dealings with your kids and be locked up in your room with you and you neglecting your kids because he don't want to deal with them. Let's keep going. Okay. So the next thing she says is, he would get so angry when I would do simple things with my children, like help them with their homework or help them with their chores. Ma'am, all I want to know is, why do you need any advice? I mean, this is so simple. This is so cut and dry. This is just like, ma'am, it's sitting on top of your nose. The answer, the advice is right here. And it's clear that you don't really want the answer or the advice. Maybe you just want somebody to read your letter. I don't know. But this is so clear that Ray Charles can see it. For me, if me and my husband were not together, I don't care if you came riding on a white horse and the beam and the glow of the Lord was up on you. If you don't like Ziyon, Michelle, Marie Scott, hun, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Because my thing is, when it comes to your children, there is never, ever, ever anything that trumps your parenting. Nothing. I don't care what comes along. And as a mother, I feel like that our first instinct is to be a provider, a protector, a shield, a guard to our children. And that's just a natural instinct. So the first thing is she really needs to evaluate what's going on with her mentally, because something had to have happened in her life to where she feels like that it's an appropriate thing for a mother to even sit and contemplate, do I want my man or do I want my kids? Ma'am, I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life than to be without my child. Especially now, either way it go, I'm not gonna choose nobody over my child. However, what I do feel is I would be willing to make an exception for this lady if her kids was like 25, 26, 21, whatever, and the man was like, well, your kids are too dependent on you. Then I could understand that a little bit, because you grown now, you got to get out here and you got to make your way, but I'm here for you if you need me. But when it comes to a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old, what the heck do you want her to do with her children so that she can sit up and cater to you all day, every day? Where's her kid supposed to go? Child, look. Brother man is tripping. And ain't no way in the world the relationship and the conversation would have been over the day that he said something to me about my children. And if I was her baby daddy, I'd be like, give me my kids. Because at this point, you steady sitting up entertaining a relationship with the nigga, and he done openly told you that he don't like your kids. So my thing is I would never feel comfortable with my kids around him, because I don't know if her kids is boys or girls, but y'all remember that movie, and I can't remember which one it was, because he got so many, but it was a Tyler Perry movie. And the 3 kids, it was the older girl, probably about 13 years old, and then 2 little boys, and they moved in with their auntie because their grandmother died, and their mama, I think she had died or either was like on drugs or something like that. But anyway, they had moved in with their auntie, which the auntie was Taraji P. Henson. And so the man was like, I don't want no kids in this house or whatever. So she was like being super duper mean to the kids and neglecting them because her boyfriend didn't want no kids there. But he had kids with somebody else. But anyways, so at the end of the movie, pretty much, he ends up trying to molest the little girl. And so my thing is that's how I would feel. I would never be able to trust this man around my kids, because the fact that you don't like them, that would make me think that you would be trying to do something spiteful to hurt them just because I won't let them go for you. No ma'am, no Pam, no sir. Y'all, I ain't gonna even lie to you. This probably might be the shortest Mommy Chronicles y'all have never seen, because at this point, as Nene Leak said, I said what I said, and that's pretty much it. I ain't taking it back. That's one thing that you don't play about. You don't play about nobody's kids, and you don't play about nobody's mama. So, anyways, she goes on to talk about the fact that he pushes her down a flight of stairs. Why does he push her down a flight of stairs? It's quite simple. He pushes her down a flight of stairs because of the fact that he's seen a pattern. And the pattern is, I can pretty much say and do whatever I want to you, and because you so thirsty for somebody to be up in your bed, you're going to accept it. You've allowed me to be in multiple relationships. You've allowed me to ask you, and you concurred, to move 8 hours away from any support system that you've ever had. You've allowed me to talk about your children in a negative way. You're contemplating, do you want to be with me or your children? So heck yeah, I can push you down the steps. Yeah. So, okay, y'all know me, clumsy me. I'm always dropping something on my shirt, so I wouldn't get ready to sit up here with y'all for another 15, 20 minutes and have syrup on my shirt. So anyway, what was I saying? Basically, what I was saying was, she has created a pattern with him. And because she has allowed the disrespect to grow greater and greater, then pushing her down the steps was just pretty much, that's it. I mean, you've allowed him to do the verbally abusing your child or talking to you about your children in a negative way. You've allowed him to have multiple relationships outside of your relationship. So, I mean, the next step was, physical abuse. I mean, where else you gonna go after all of that? So, she says that she didn't contact the police when he kicked her down or pushed her down the steps because he moved away. And I guess that was supposed to be enough. However, that's not the reason that you didn't call the police. Pumpkin, you didn't call the police because you were contemplating, oh, he's just a little mad, so we'll be back together even though my foot broke and I can't take care of my kids and he don't care, and he just moved back to another state with his ex. I mean, is it just me or is that desperate? Like, it ain't even that deep for a relationship, not for me. Like, and of course, everybody loves companionship, but there has, like I said before, there has got to be some type of mental issue going on. Something happened in this lady's past. I bet your bottom dollar, if you talk to this girl and really, really dig deep into her past and in her life, you will find out that something happened back in her past that really made her feel like she is unworthy of having someone to really love her. Because nobody just allows somebody to cheat on them and it's okay. Nobody just allows somebody to kick them down the stairs and that's okay. And nobody just allows somebody to openly talk about in a negative way about their children and then give them an ultimatum. You're gonna choose me or your kids. That's sad. And really, I feel bad. But I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for those babies. And I feel bad for them kids because let's pray, which I guess it doesn't matter either way, but let's pray that they're not girls, because like I said on the last video, you basically setting the blueprint, you setting the tone for how they feel that men are supposed to treat them, on top of the fact that they looking at you every day sitting up there, and 9 times out, if you writing a letter for help, you sitting up at home crying and sad because the nigga left you, but them kids know that he don't like them, and they know that you crying because you can't make a decision between them and him. But it should be a no-brainer. Them your babies. That's your blood. That's your flesh. You carried them. Your heartbeat. Girl, bye. If you need help with that, baby, that ain't the only thing you need help with. Because something ain't clicking. Anyway, so then she says, upon moving back to my home state, which, before I even go to what I was finna say, let me say this. She moved back to her home state because she needed help with her kids. Because with a 13-year-old child, the 13-year-old most deaf would have been helping. She didn't move back to her home state because she needed help with her kids. She moved back to her home state because she wanted to chase and run behind him. Period. So, she says, upon moving back to my home state, somehow we got back together. Really? Really, Becky? Girl, bye. Somehow y'all got somehow y'all got back together? I'm sure you did. Nevertheless, y'all got back together. So, at this point, you've been through the storm and rain with him. He beat you up. He don't want your kids there. He cheated on you. He left you. all of that good stuff. So now where you at? You went through all of that, and you still sitting here writing letters asking, what should you do? And I get it. We all make dumb mistakes, especially when we're young. I don't know how old this woman is. However, we all make dumb mistakes, especially when we're young. But how long are you going to make the same mistake? Like you're making the same mistake over and over. Sometimes, even though the process of change may be a hurting process, like he pushed you down the steps and all of that good old stuff, that was a hurting process. However, God created a way of escape for you because he left. But he didn't come chasing you. You went chasing him. And sometimes God will create a way of escape for us. God will give us an out for a situation that we're not even wise enough to get out of ourselves. But God will force us out of a situation through a hurtful situation. And he'll give us that way out. But because we think we so in love and we so need this person, we so need these things, then here we go, running to chase down what God has removed from us, not to hurt us, not to kill us, not to harm us, but to protect us. Because God is so wise in all that he does. So he's looking down at her saying, oh, look at my daughter. She don't understand what I have for her at the end of this situation. She don't understand what I have laid up for her, the blessing that I have laid up for her. Because she's so blinded by what she thinks she wants and what she thinks she needs that's right in front of her. But I got so much more for her down the line. So let me go ahead and remove this fool out of her life so she don't have to deal with him anymore. And boom, he gone. And then she sit up all night long. Oh God, oh Lord, help me, Jesus, oh God. And then she go run right on back to the same bondage that God have tried to deliver her from. And girl, look, at this point, if you still need some advice after all the stuff that this man have done, look, I could get past the cheating because we all make mistakes. But what I can't get past is, don't ever, and I mean ever, don't ever put your hands on me. And don't ever try to make me think that I have to choose between my kid and you. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be my kid. So, I ain't trying to make it seem like that my opinion is the only opinion. So, conversate with me down below. Let me know what you think of Miss My boyfriend wants me to leave my children so we can be together. Y'all got any advice for homegirl? Anyways, y'all. At this point, I've said everything that I need to say. We have discussed this letter. This girl is. And I hope that she finds the closure. I hope that she finds the answers that she's looking for. And I hope that she makes the decision that is like a no-brainer. The obvious decision. Anyways, y'all already know what the deal is. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome to the Incredible Fam. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell to be notified every single time we drop a video. And make sure that you tell somebody that the Scotts are doing big things right here on our channel to have me elaborate on some of the topics that you would like for me to talk about or discuss, or even to give some feedback. Y'all already know what the deal is. Either comment down below or you can send me an email to latrinascott.ls@icloud.com. Once again, that is latrinascott.ls@icloud.com. You can send me some of your things that you may want to talk about, some of your concerns, some of your input, some of your feedback, whatever. And then we can discuss it. Like I said before, all responses will be kept anonymous. I will not expose anyone's name or anything, but we will discuss those things. And like I said, this is a great outlet for us ladies to just hang out and talk and converse and share wisdom and pour into each other and all of that good stuff. I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. I absolutely positively love you guys so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me again on another episode of Mommy Chronicles.